Mostar, set in the valley of Bosnia and Herzegovina, is among the Balkans' most beautiful places with a fascinating past. Our 2-day journey started in the city's old town, where 15th century Ottoman heritage fills the streets with coffee sets and Turkish sweets. This is the Kujundžiluk Bazaar, one of the oldest parts of Mostar and about 500 years old. Once the domain of goldsmiths, today is filled with souvenir shops. But like most people, we make a beeline to the jewel of Mostar, the Stari Most. Once described as a rainbow arch to the skies, this bridge dates to the 17th century and spans the gorgeous Neretva River. Young men would dive from the bridge to show courage, and over the centuries it became a local custom. But not many know the Stari Most of today isn't the original. In the 90s, the bridge was destroyed on live TV during the Bosnian War and was only rebuilt in 2004. Nowadays, local divers wait to collect enough tips from tourists before making their jump. And we were lucky to catch one in action. For one of the best seats to watch the bridge and the divers in action, head to this secret cafe. The entrance is tucked above the diving club, and they only serve Bosnian coffee and a handful of traditional desserts like fig cake and pistachio baklava. Another great spot to view the bridge and the divers is from here. You can get a fuller view of the bridge, plus a close-up of canoes zipping down the river. Fun fact, before they built Stari Most, they actually built a smaller replica. It's found in the quiet part of town, and if you want a nice bridge photo without the usual crowds, you can take one here. Another legacy of Mostar's Ottoman rule is its predominantly Muslim population. The most significant mosque in the city is the gorgeous Koski Mehmed Pasha Mosque. Built in 1618, it offers one of the best panoramic views of the old town from its minaret. It's a bit pricey at 15 marka, but for the views, I think it's worth it. Between 1992 and 1995, Mostar was torn apart by the Croat-Bosniak conflict. Memories are still fresh, and the topic is still somewhat touchy. The Museum of War and Genocide Victims helps break that silence. Through personal belongings, photographs, videos, and first-hand testimonies, it gives a voice to those who lived through or didn't survive the atrocities. For anyone wanting to understand Mostar beyond its picturesque facade, this is a must visit. Just a 15-minute walk from the old town, the Sniper Tower is another time capsule of the city's wall. This was the exact spot where Croat snipers stood, shooting at Bosniak civilians across the river. If you look closely at the building opposite, you can see bullet holes. Exploring the Sniper Tower isn't allowed, and local kids warn us not to go in.
In the depths of silence, where echoes remain, you were the sunrise, and I was the rain.
To end our first day, we headed to Hum Hill, south of Mostar. The trailhead can be found here. We heard Hum Hill was an easy climb, but it turned out tougher for some than others. My wife described the climb as harrowing, but for me, it was another Sunday afternoon. To get to the top, simply follow the red markings and stay on the path because there may be landmines. It took us around 40 minutes to reach the top, where the 33-meter high Millennium Cross stands.
You were the laughter that kept me alive. You were hello when I was goodbye.
At this point, if you continue following the red markings, you'll eventually find remnants of an old fortress too. To get down the hill, we walked along the main road until we reached a busy road, then walked about 20 minutes to this cemetery shortcut, with another 30 minutes back to Old Town. Will I recommend the hike? Only if you are really into hiking and don't mind walking on a busy road. If not, consider taking a taxi to the top and having it wait for you to take you back down. The next day, we booked a tour to take us around other attractions in the Herzegovina region. Many of them are only a short drive from Mostar, making this the best way to get a real feel for Herzegovina. In 20 minutes, our first stop was Blagaj, the oldest town in Bosnia and home to the Blagaj Tekija. This is a beautiful 15th century dervish monastery nestled under a cliff. The gorgeous Bosnia River emerges from here, flowing out of a cave as birds circle above. Our guide Samil filled his water bottle with the icy water here, which is known to be very clear and pure. Then, after sampling some strawberries from a local farm, he took us to the Bunski Canal Most. Here, we can witness the clear Bosnia River flowing into the turquoise Neretva River, creating a magnificent sight. It's a brief stop before we head to one of the most beautiful natural spots in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Kravica Waterfall is a beautiful oasis under an hour from Mostar. Unlike the more famous and pricier Plitvice waterfalls in Croatia, it features similar beauty, fewer tourists, and a lower price tag. Even the coffee at the cafe was surprisingly affordable, and we snagged front row seats to the waterfall to boot. Just be sure to come early. We arrived at noon when it was almost empty, but by 12:30, it starts to get crowded. Founded in the late 14th century, Pocitelli is one of the best preserved medieval towns. Overlooking the Neretva River, the fortress town was a military stronghold for the Ottomans and a crossroads for merchants and travelers. I heard around 100 people still live here, so while the fortress is free to explore, be careful not to enter any private homes. After exploring the narrow streets, we stopped for one of the best meals we had in Mostar. A recommendation from Samil, everything was delicious, but my wife really loved the grilled trout freshly caught from the Bosnia River. Humans have an odd fascination about seeking the highest point. So when we learned Fortica Hill was higher than Hum Hill, we asked Samil for an extra stop. It only took about 10 minutes to reach the top by car. By now it was late afternoon and we had the place to ourselves. The glass walkway, the main attraction, was completely empty too. While Hum Hill is lush with greenery and fortress ruins, Fortica Hill is set up for enjoying the panoramic views. If you're thinking of visiting Mostar, we can recommend setting aside at least 2 days like we did. Because we arrived at night by bus, we picked a guest house within walking distance of both the station and the old town. They were kind enough to allow our late check-in and had all the amenities for a comfortable stay. After checkout, they even stored our bags at the cafe bar while we went on our day trip. The best part? It's only a 3-minute walk to the old town and near markets, restaurants and cafes. These little details made all the difference to us. Now, Mostar has no lack of food options, but the locals we met all seem to recommend the same place to eat. This family restaurant serves traditional Bosnian food, and we ended up here multiple times. Their grilled veal liver is so delicious we ordered it twice. Don't miss their daily lunch specials for a great deal too. Mostar's charm and history make it a real hidden gem in the Balkans, but if you're after more history, culture and real local vibes, Belgrade is next. Click the thumbnail now to see what we did there, and I'll see you in a second.